I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
I'm not gonna lie, this looks good in the do-rag. That's just my opinion.
Moving on.
Dude, this is okay. So I started wearing them on and off because this one dude gave me one in Louisiana, and I was like, this kind of is nice. It keeps all the hair out or your hair out of your face. You don't get no sweat in your face. Like, it's kind of nice. Apparently, if you sleep with one on, especially with a CPAP, you won't like lose any hair. Also,
What's the science behind that?
I have no idea. That's just what I heard from somebody. I think
it's good for your hair too, or something like the
yeah, your oils.
Like, people will sleep, like girls will do it too. They'll sleep with like bonnets or like silky head things.
To be honest, like watching Chris rock that do-rag so well, I almost wish I could pull it off, but I just feel like I'm too white.
I'm a pretty white dude. You just gotta own it.
He's got the confidence. That's what makes it work.
You guys ever seen the movie Tropic Thunder with, you know, the scene I'm referencing with Robert Downey Jr. going blackface? And like, obviously, no one got mad at that. So I don't know why they're mad at Chris for wearing a do-rag.
Boy, let's be clear. No one was pissed off at me for wearing the do-rag, besides one person. Just saying, me and everyone else are very, very cool on this topic.
I told Chris, now that I'm going to have some time to get back to doing apparel, I think I just might have to drop some Results do-rags just right across the front.
Some silk pink ones with Results in cursive.
That'd be lit. That'd
be sick.
So first things first, how was Mexico? How was your vacation?
It was really good. We got engaged. We had a lot of fun. We swam with some sharks. We got like the first day was ruined from some crazy at the airport, but whatever. We missed our first flight. But overall, like, it was great. We needed to just kind of take a step back, like forget about bodybuilding, forget about like we didn't talk about it once. We didn't talk about work once. Like, we just needed to like unplug, reset. You know what I mean? It was great.
I'm surprised you guys didn't talk about bodybuilding not one time on vacation, not just once.
No, like we trained, we like got some pumps and stuff, but like if she started talking about it or if I talked about it, we told each other, we're like, I'll check you on it. And so like we'll be sitting there or whatever, and we're like, hey, did you see? And Katie will look at me, I'm like, never mind. Or like she'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe. I'm like, look at her, she's like, never mind.
Stupid. You guys just literally sit at every meal not saying a word to each other because the majority of the conversation would be bodybuilding related. So it's just like, hey, how about that? Never mind. So hey, did you see? Oh, never mind.
Never mind. At least thankfully though, that's never been like, we talk about it, especially when we're both prepping. We're both like, we even say it. We're like, well, God, we can't wait to stop talking about bodybuilding or thinking about it. So thankfully, like, we're the same exact person pretty much. We're the same, like, we talk the same, we think the same. So like our conversations are just like mostly just goofy as shit all the time.
I saw Kate today and we actually talked about that. We're like, some people, like, obviously, like, I love this, I live this, it's like a huge part of my life, but that's not the only thing I have going on in my head. And like, sometimes I don't want to talk about it. Cause like, you can probably get it too, where it's like people who don't know you super well think they have to talk to you about bodybuilding because that's like a denominator. And it's like, dude, you could just say, hey, what's up? Like, what's up? You know, how's the weather? Like, it doesn't have to be bodybuilding. We were talking about that, and it's like, some people, it seems like that's all they can talk about. And like, sometimes you don't want to talk about it. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
Huge part of my life, but it's not the only thing in my head.
Yeah.
I think sometimes people think like you are bodybuilding. What I mean by that, it's like your identity becomes just lifting weights, eating food, hitting poses, doing shows. And like, I guess to some degree, yes, but also like, again, like there's so many things I enjoy doing outside of bodybuilding. And I think even for me yesterday, I was having a conversation with someone about apparel, and they were like, dude, you're more passionate about apparel when you talk about it than you are bodybuilding. I was like, not really. It's just, we always talk about bodybuilding. You've never asked me about apparel. And so like, when we then started having that conversation, like, oh, like maybe this guy's more than just one dimension. I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm not just a fucking meathead, but that's how you see it.
There's some people like that, you know, but I think most 99% of people are just like, we do it because it's like, it is a hobby for most folks, you know, unless you're really lucky. But I mean, we all got our own shit, you know.
I think too, it's like my break in the day from like reality. So like I always say like good day gym, bad day gym. And so like either way, I was going to go to the gym because that's just like my physical therapy. It's my mental break. Like I just kind of vibe out, listen to my music. yeah, maybe I see some people, I chop it up with them a little bit, not too much because I am there to train. But even still, it's just like, yeah, it's just a nice break in my day from like doing work on my computer or running errands, which I fucking hate running errands, but that's a different story.
I'm pretty heated.
What's that?
I'm pretty heated about the
No,
errands.
I just, dude.
Fucking Aaron.
Fucking errands,
Dude,
dude.
I'll
I
tell you,
kind of
there's
hate
some,
it too. Like I don't even like grocery shop anymore.
yeah,
I don't
like
like groceries delivered with Instacart. Like I kind of hate running errands too. Like if I'm not at work or the gym, I just want to go home.
it's okay. Here's my thing is like, I think just Arizona is like this melting pot of like people from everywhere because there's good weather like year round. And so like there's so many fucking bad drivers out here that like driving down our main road, which is like Scottsdale Road, should be an Olympic sport because if you can get from A to B without almost getting into a car accident, it's like a miracle. And so like I don't know, I hate driving so much that like I think going anywhere that's like more than 15 minutes of a drive, I just start getting annoyed. And then especially like if I say I am on my way to the gym and I drink my pre-workout and then I'm driving behind somebody that's like slow as fuck or just driving like an idiot, like dude, that shit annoys me so much. But like, yeah, I'm with Justin. Like, I was doing a lot of Instacart for a while. Lately, I've been like going to get my own groceries because where I moved to, like the Costco's literally like not even 3 minutes from here, which is so nice. But even still, just like I think I'm annoyed because I got a rock through my windshield. That's why I hate driving. And I've been trying to get it repaired, replaced, whatever you want to call it, for like weeks now. And it's just been a fucking issue with my insurance that I'm like, dude, just Uber everywhere.
Dude, I feel out of touch. I freaking love grocery shopping and errands. But I also only do it with Katie. We make like our routine is every Saturday we go to Walmart and then to Sam's, then we get coffee and we come home. But I don't know. I
It's like
like
turn
it.
it into like a little day date kind of thing. I think
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
because that's
yeah,
like
pretty much.
and it's like a thing you guys do now.
Yeah, I
You know
like
what?
it. I like looking at all the food and like I like people watching and shit too. So it's just like fuck it, you get steps.
You know what I will say is like obviously because like we're eating pretty consistent diets year round, off season, in season, whatever it is. So there's like when I'm in a rush, there's obviously aisles I know I'm not even gonna waste my time going up and down. But then like kind of Chris said, if you're on like a day date and you're like shopping with your girl type shit, like you maybe are going up and down some of the aisles and like, dude, when I had Pop Tarts in my diet a few months ago, like bro, I would be so amazed at all the different flavors because like I never shopped for that shit, so I didn't even know. And then like same thing with like Oreos. I'm like, dude, they make the
Oh
craziest
God.
flavors of Oreos. I don't eat them, but like still, it's amazing when I go down that cookie aisle, which is so rare. I'm like, the fuck?
Yeah. It's fun. Or new grocery stores, like when we go to like a different state or whatever, it's the freaking best. Going to like a HEB or whatever they had in New Jersey, I forgot, or like Publix. Dude, a
Publix is dope.
Publix. Oh God.
Publix is
Freaking
dope.
best.
There's this one grocery store everyone talks about, and we have one here. I guess it's supposed to be like super inexpensive. I don't know why it's less expensive than everywhere else, but it's called Aldi.
Oh
And
my God. You just found out about Aldi,
dude, I,
dude?
I didn't even know what we have like one in all of
I was
Arizona.
like, there's no way he's
I've never
describing it
been.
right now. Everybody knows that.
That's what I thought you were. I was like, is he gonna say don't say Aldi, don't say Aldi.
Yeah, no, I didn't even know what it was.
Dude, it's the best. You gotta go.
Why is
And
it
they're
so why is it so inexpensive or what's so good about it?
so from what my understand is like some of their stuff, they don't keep the same things in stock all the time, but it's also like some like weirder brands, whatever. But their produce is really good and really, really cheap. And then the same with like their meats and stuff. So like if you need like chicken's not bad from there, but like say you're gonna get like a steak or something for that night, dude, their steaks are really freaking good. Like
Hmm.
it's a legit place.
I
What
shop
about,
at like Sam's Club, Costco, and Aldi.
Yeah, all these rips.
do you guys have Sprouts out there?
No.
No. Sprouts is kind of like I would say it's like a less expensive version of Whole Foods, but like, dude, they have like the best fruits, the best vegetables. It's just always really fresh, really inexpensive. And like, don't get me wrong, sometimes I'll go to Costco to get like asparagus or whatever, but like also I don't need like 6 pounds of asparagus for 1 week, which is excessive. So that's the only downside of Costco. But yeah, I don't know. Like everyone's been raving about Aldi, and I was like, what is this store? I didn't even know what it was.
Have you been yet?
No, I still haven't been. I've never
Oh
been.
God,
You
Maybe I'll
really
go
gotta
this week. I
go.
don't know.
You
Yeah.
should just
When I first heard about it, I thought it was gonna be like because it was like, oh, it's like a discount like grocery store. I thought it was gonna be kind of like
like
I don't know,
shop right.
the Walmart of clothing. Like, clothing at Walmart's little but the like I don't know, their food's good and like Chris said, like the meat's good. Like I get a lot of my ground beef there. When I, ground turkey, stuff like that. And then I'll get like they have the frozen bags of sweet potatoes, and I get a bunch of like frozen berries and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So they're pretty legit.
it's some
Dude,
good stuff.
I just went to Costco today and I got this badass bag of frozen mangoes. I cannot wait to eat those. I've been doing berries for like the last month, and like you know how like you just go through phases with certain foods where like you're so sick of eating something, and like that right now is two things: berries and almond butter. I am so fucking done with almond butter.
I just ate a bunch of berries and almond
You look
butter.
like you just Bro's literally eating berries and almond butter right now.
Destroyed it.
Dude, I've been eating so much berries and so much almond butter that I'm just like, ugh, like anytime I look at my meal plan and it's like 140 grams of berries, 64 grams of almond butter, I'm like,
That's a lot of almond butter. I could
That's a
see
lot.
it's a
Yeah.
lot.
even
It's
like
not like
I
peanut
got like
butter.
32 grams in my diet. I'm like, this is kind of like like several spoonfuls kind of for a while.
Yeah. I'm on a new meal plan now. It's like revolutionized my way of like eating because I never ate vegetables. I didn't have fruits in my meal plan. I didn't have fats in my meal plan. And now like, dude, Nick had me eating carrots and zucchinis and berries and almond butter
Would
and
you literally
apples.
just, what would you just eat? Protein and more protein?
Yeah, I had ground. I'd have every meal was I had egg whites and oats, or I had ground turkey and rice normally.
So protein, carbs, protein, carbs. That's
That's it. Yeah, that's all I ate. And Katie would make fun of me, but like my first time eating ground beef again was like a few months ago, like of just like making it and eating it, and I was like, oh my god, this is the
Dude,
greatest thing on earth.
especially when you haven't had it for a while.
Yeah, and I now this is so diverse. Like I have 3 eggs and chicken in the morning. I get a serving of ground beef throughout the day. I get like chicken breast. Like I got all these different meats now. I'm like, this is fucking fun, dude.
And
Dude,
berry, I know you're sick of them, but berry, I love berries. Like I've
Me
been eating
too.
100 grams in my breakfast, and then I get some pineapple in my post workout meal, and I love it.
Pineapple's underrated.
I will say like blueberries, like frozen blueberries are really good, and I like to kind of like snack on those. But I don't know, I've just been eating so many berries, and then like I'll go from phases of like eating the berries to then like maybe I'll blend up like the oats, the almond milk, the almond butter, and whatever else into a shake, and then I'm just like drinking this fucking slop, and I'm just like, dude, I can't.
You're at that point of the off season where
I'm,
everything's
dude, I think I saw a reel the other day when it's like when you first like jump on gear and like you're so excited to pin, and then like you've been doing it for a while and you're just like, oh, I got to pin tomorrow. Like, and that's kind of where I'm at with that and like certain foods too, but it just is what it is. About a year into an off season right now.
here in like 6 months when he's in prep. He's like, dude, you guys ever had almond butter? You know how amazing that
I always try to like think about that when I'm in the off season and I'm like eating so much food and I'm like, I'm tired of eating this much or
Yeah.
something. I'm like, don't complain because when I'm in prep, I'm gonna miss this. Like last prep, I remember I looked at one of my meals, like one of my meal ones from off season, and it was like 100 grams of cream of rice and like 2 pieces of Zico bread and peanut butter and whole eggs. And I'm like, this is like 1,000 calorie breakfast. I miss this. So I try not to like, it does get, monotonous and repetitive sometimes, but I try not to like complain because I'm like, I know I'm going to miss this at some point.
It's like,
oh, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say bodybuilding. It's like you always want what you don't have. Cause like right now, when I'm sitting at like my biggest of the off season, I'm like, God damn, I just want to be shredded. And like to see like maybe only 100 grams of rice on the scale would be like, I don't know if that sounds ideal, but like I know that's what it would be type shit. And then now it's like 400 grams of rice. Like I'm just like, God damn it, 400 grams of rice again. Like it's just so much food.
It's one of the cool things bodybuilding teaches you though is like to always kind of be grateful because you have it in the back of your head of like, I remember when I was hungry. You know what I mean? So it's always like this like two sides to every single season. You have like you're like, oh man, I literally cannot fucking eat. I don't want to eat, blah 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 blah. And you're like, wait a minute, I remember when I used to be hungry, or I start thinking about like other people. It's like fuck, they don't get to eat, and I'm complaining about all the food on my plate right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't think that at first, but now I think my frontal lobe has developed more that I kind of start thinking about that kind of stuff. It's just like kind of teaches you everything, you know?
Well, it's funny you say that too, because I know like after this podcast, I still have 3 meals left plus a refeed tonight. So I technically still have 4 meals left. And I'm like, oh my, it's so much food.
Damn. I got chicken and
Bro,
zucchini.
eating has just become a full-time job in this bulk for me. And I think Justin, we talked about it a little bit. Chris, I mentioned it, but I'm about to start GH. So like obviously like in conjunction with the food, like I feel like I'm just about to fucking balloon up and I'm like, God damn, like this is really about to begin a new chapter of bodybuilding for me.
You should start at 12 units daily. I just see what happens. You know, just
I think that'd be 3 times the amount I'm prescribed.
just see, like, I don't know.
An entire bottle in the morning, an entire bottle pre-workout.
Yeah, your hands are gonna be perfect.
When I
All
when I
that
think of
stuff about
GH,
carpool, it's a lie.
when I think of GH, I just think of like the Mark McGuire MLB era, and like now I just want to go see how far I can hit a baseball. That's literally all I want to find out.
I want to play softball so
All
bad.
sports should just legalize steroids and have doctors like monitor it so we can see the freakiest, like just the absolute freaks.
I think they're gonna
They'd
do
have that.
the enhanced games or something. It's like
Yeah.
the Olympics, but like enhanced version.
But if we're being real, like, dude, the Olympics have been those people have been on gear for like years and years and years. Their doctors are just so good that they doesn't look like they are.
Have you guys ever heard of the movie, documentary called Icarus?
Yep.
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
All the doping.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, whoever told me about it, it was my buddy Steve actually. He did a good job because he didn't really tell me much. But basically a guy like starts filming his own documentary. He's like, I would say like a semi-pro biker training for essentially the amateur version of the Tour de France. And like he was good. And then he decides to do like I think he placed really high naturally. And then he was like, I'm gonna document my journey, start steroids, document my progress, and then see how I do after like a year of running gear and stuff. And he gets like doctors to monitor it and all these tests and stuff. And one of the doctors he like hired to monitor his protocol happened to be this Russian doctor who just by chance was the one who was helping the entire Russian government have their Olympic athletes on steroids. And so while he's filming his documentary about trying gear, this whole conspiracy like comes out, like just falls into his lap while he's filming this with this Russian doctor guy. And it's like a worldwide, like that was like how kind of the Russians were exposed for doping their Olympic athletes. And it just like
Wow.
happens all in this dude's documentary by accident. And it's crazy. Like he moves to America and was like worried his family and stuff was going to be like taken or killed and stuff. It's really interesting.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
Lance Armstrong was doing it for years.
world was, that was a government like sponsoring doping, not even just individual athletes doing it themselves. Like that was the government running drugs.
That's how it was. Was it during like the Cold War period? Some like way back when like back when like the Olympics to the governments were like, which they kind of are now, but not the same. Like that was their pride and joy. You know what I mean? Even like Germany and stuff. Dude,
I think Germany did something like that too.
yeah, who's to say that I bet the United States is doping all their dudes. You know what I mean? And we just like they got the smartest doctors to it's not hard. If I stop taking testosterone today, in 2 weeks, my blood will probably say I'm natty. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially if you compete every 4 years. You can run gear for 3 years. And then once it comes time to compete, you just cycle off.
Exactly.
You're gonna look normal, but you made progress using that stuff that entire, in between time, the 3 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's like a lot of controversy over like just like when you look at certain people's physiques in the bodybuilding space and they're like claiming natural and whatnot, and then they're like going to the extent of being like, well, I passed these blood tests, blah, blah, blah. And like obviously that doesn't really give like the full analysis as like say like a hair test would do, something more extensive that obviously is a bit more expensive, I'd imagine. But even still, like, I don't know. I don't want to say in my head I believe everyone's on sauce, but like at the end of the day, like RIP Hulk Hogan, but like as a kid, I thought Hulk Hogan was natty, and clearly we know that's not the case. So
Yeah.
like, I think just like to a certain degree, everyone is using something.
Yeah, I agree. Even like SARMs and stuff now, like we just talked about that, or not SARMs, peptides.
GLPs.
Yeah. Like, dude, you can't at this day and age, Connor Kovac actually just posted something cool about it. He was like, people say they're natural, this, and that all the time now. If you touch a peptide or you touch something like that, you're not natural. But I think they associate it like I've never taken Trin, I'm natty. It's like, dude.
What's crazy is so there's like this whole influencer boxing scene, and I think a couple guys from the UFC are about to square off. Luke Rockhold, and who's the other guy? I can't think of the other guy, but anyways, in one of their interviews, like one of their face-to-faces, Luke Rockhold's talking about how he used BPC 157, and the guy starts calling him a fake natty. He's a juice head, all this shit. And I was like, I mean, it's a peptide, not really, but also, yeah, I mean, it's not natural to inject that. So like, but I think that's different from like an anabolic compound, like drastically so. But just like the way people are viewing it now is like, obviously that quote makes you enhanced.
Yeah. I mean, but if we're being true to it though, you know, natural natty is nothing. That's like, it's just creatine and pre-workout, you know?
Well, I mean, but then you could literally go the argument of saying like, oh, well, you take vitamins to supplement. That's not natural. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, again,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck, but like people are just
Kind of
making these arguments now.
Yeah, I think it kind of depends because like I would personally I get what you said, Chris. Like if you're taking BPC, technically you're not natural. However, I think that's like taking it literally. Whereas like when I look at natural, I kind of refer to it as steroids. Now, if you're taking like MK677 or semi-glutide, that's kind of like not natural. Those are definitely those are closer to steroids than BPC. While BPC might be natural, you're injecting it or supplementing with it. It is not it's primarily an anti-inflammatory healing thing versus something that is growth hormone. So it just kind of depends, I guess, how you take it. Like, do you mean it literally natural, nothing, or is it just like, well, do you use steroids or not? Or
well, it's like what are the influencers saying? You know what I mean? Like, you got some people that say they're natural and dude, like they look fucking nuts. Maybe it's their camera angles, I don't know. But they're saying they're natural, and it's like, okay, what's your version of natural? Because even Alex Eubank did that whole thing where he's like, well, now I'm on TRT, but just TRT. Well, how much is that? Is that a gram of TRT? You know what I mean? Which he doesn't even look like he's on a gram of gear to begin with, in my eyes. But it's like what you can say anything you want on the internet, but where's the line skewing at?
Well, I think as crazy as this dude is, Connor Murphy was talking about this a while ago when we were with him in Vegas, and he was like, no one's really natural, but like on the spectrum, like of what's more natural than what's not. And I guess that's kind of like you were saying, like, what do we deem? Like, again, like say, for example, you were recovering from an injury and you use BPC 157. Like, okay, yeah, again, that's not necessarily natural that you're injecting that, but also at the same time, it's not really like an anabolic compound. So I'm not over here being like, oh, you're a fake natty. But I just think it's so funny that like in a face-to-face, that in a boxing like press conference, the dudes literally call him a fake natty for admitting to use BPC. But I guess it kind of, because here was his argument. He was like, with the VADA drug testing and all that shit, I guess that is one of the banned substances. So then when you look at it from like a doping perspective, I guess technically speaking, you are kind of cheating the system, and admittedly you used it. So like, I don't know, I guess that is kind of sus.
There's a lot on the banned substances.
Like, what's the difference between BPC and acetaminophen or Tylenol or something? Then they're both similar end results or something. Different mechanisms of action, but they're anti-inflammatory. So it's like, with what? Because even like for college athletes, certain pre-workouts, like the amount of caffeine in them is like limited due to the rules and restrictions. When it's like it's caffeine, like
they'll knock you like even in like the I think it's the OCB, whatever the natural league is. That's super crazy. When they do their blood tests and stuff, it's like what you're saying is like if you get some crazy off pre-workout or something like that, that'll show up on a blood test, and then your OCB Pro card, if that means anything, that's gone.
You know what we never hear about anymore since BPC is CBD. Like I feel like no one talks about using CBD oil or gel or anything. Like, because like I feel like in the past, like even my dad would be like, "Oh, I'm having some knee or joint pain. I rub some CBD oil on it." But now I feel like if you were really having any type of joint pain, he would just probably inject BPC. So I don't know. It's just funny how like things evolve over time.
Yeah.
I do have if you guys you've heard of the Butcher Balm, right?
Yeah. Does it work?
Yo, Nicole was telling me about the other day. She goes, Justin was lubing up to train. I go, what do you mean he was lubing up? And she goes, he literally puts a glove on and starts rubbing this. And I was like, oh, but like I knew what she was talking about once she said, but the way she described it, she was like, yeah, I was training with Justin. He was lubing up. And I go, what do you mean lubing up?
The glove makes it a lot worse.
every leg day. And I love it.
Well, she and these were her words, not mine, but she goes, I asked him why he does it, and she goes, well, that way I can't feel the pain.
Fuck. Is it
Just
like
my knees for like an hour or two, and then I can train. And we're good.
is it like Tiger Balm kind of?
So it's kind of like a Tiger Balm or an Icy Hot. It's got like a topical like painkiller. Kind of has that like menthol smell, but the Butcher Balm has TB500 in it and BPC 157 that absorbs through the skin. So it like numbs it, but it also hopefully is, you know, actually having some anti-inflammatory properties as well.
Yeah, that's
So I
badass.
mean, you would say obviously it's beneficial to you. I've never used it. She was asking me if I've tried it. I was like, nah. I was like, no.
I love it. I highly recommend it. I've been
Yeah.
knock on wood, my knee. This is the best my knees have felt in a long time, and I've been pushing the weight on leg day. You know, I do inject the BPC. I ran out, so I haven't done it in like a month or two on now, actually. But I was doing a BPC shot into my left knee once a week, and then using the Butcher Balm cream every leg day. And my knees have been feeling pretty good for the most part.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I might be down to try that. And I mean, obviously, if you swear by it, then I'm sure it's good. But the one thing you do that I really want to start implementing on my leg days, and I went to go look at our first aid kit at the gym the other day. I was just thinking there might be smelling salts in the first aid kit. And I was like going for a heavy hack squat. And I was like, dude, I was like, I wonder if they got smelling salts in there. So I go in the back, open up the first aid kit, and they didn't have any in there. But dude, I got to hop on Amazon to order some shit. And I think I might actually grab some smelling salts because dude, I see you do that all the time before like a super stacked leg press or a super stacked hack squat. And I'm like, damn, that probably actually would be really beneficial.
Dude, I mean, it wakes you up, and then if you get a good whiff, the first few reps you don't even feel because your face hurts. So it's like your face is like on fire a little bit. Like it hurts. It's like getting smacked in the face. And so the first couple reps are kind of a breeze because you're almost more focused on your how your face feels.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I haven't used smelling salts since like the hockey days, sitting on the bench and you just kind of rip a couple, just oh, and like yeah, it wakes you up real quick. So I was like, I see the benefit of that, but now like combine that with the Butcher Balm, damn, I might be hitting some PRs pretty soon.
Yeah, I recommend both.
Justin, how's your off season going? Any updates?
Like I was saying, my joints are feeling pretty good, pushing the heavy weight and stuff. Most feels, you know, everything feels pretty good. Like I said, can't complain about my diet. I'm eating a lot of food and feeling pretty good. I get like 2 cheat meals a week. I try to keep them, I would say like 80 to 90% are like pretty clean. Every now and then I'll have like a burger and fries or some pizza and something. But other than that, I mean, everything's been pretty good so far.
If you're not doing like burger fries or pizza, what would you call like your clean cheat meal or refeed? What
I'll
about
go to
consist of?
Jersey Mike's like sub shop and I'll
Oh
get
yeah, yeah.
like a club sub, no mayo. And so just what is that? Turkey, ham, and bacon, and then some vegetables. And I just get a big one, and typically I only eat 3/4 of it. It's probably about a foot long, basically.
Dude,
And
Jersey Mike's
sometimes
is
I
so
get
good. So
kettle with it. So that's like a relatively clean cheat meal. And then
yeah, it's
sometimes
not the worst.
it's called crazy bowls here, and I'll get like
You were
steak
talking
and
about that.
rice and peppers. So that's basically a meal plan meal that I just didn't cook, to be honest.
Yeah, I've been craving Jersey Mike's lately, like, or just like a good submarine sandwich, like just some good deli meat, some fucking veggies, some vinaigrette. But like, I don't know why. I just whenever I have a refeed like today, I just smacked legs earlier, so I have a refeed tonight. And I don't know, I just feel like consistently, I just keep it as a burger and fries because I usually that's what I would do. And even if I only have that once a week, or this would be, I haven't had a refeed in a couple weeks, but also like with my dog had a vet appointment, so I missed a leg day 2 weeks ago. Then I moved, so I missed another leg day. So I basically missed like 2 out of 4 leg days recently, and I'm like, I don't even deserve a refeed like when I would have them. And then now, like, I'll have one today just because obviously weight's down a little bit, and I feel like I need to get that back up. But like, I've also been back on plan now for a week. But like, I don't know, just with food, always like I look at food as a variable so much that like I'm just like not even like I don't enjoy the taste of a burger and fries, but I just do it more so for the functionality of like, oh, that's a variable. And if I keep it the same, then I know what the effects are, you know?
Yeah, that's kind of why like I stick with typically the same couple. Like I'll do a couple different cheat meals, but it's
Yeah.
the same like 2 or 3 things for the most. I don't like go get different stuff every single time or anything like that.
You know what I will say is, and I blame, I've been listening to Nick Walker and his boy Danilo started a podcast, and It's actually a really good listen. They drop 2 episodes a week, but these motherfuckers are always talking about Cheesecake Factory, and I can literally walk to a Cheesecake Factory from where I live. And I'm honestly like kind of thinking of doing some Cheesecake Factory tonight, but like I don't have that much of a sweet tooth. So I know what would happen is like, okay, I'd probably get a burger and fries from there and then a piece of cheesecake. I take like 2 bites and then just waste it and throw it out.
I haven't had cheesecake in so long. That sounds kind of good.
I don't know. I'll send you a picture if I end up going, but like, I don't know. I feel like I don't have the biggest sweet tooth. I'd rather like enjoy the burger and fries. So like I would be more full from that. And then by the time I got to like dessert, I would just take like a bite or two because I bought it. And then I'd be like, straight.
You gotta eat at least half of it. You don't get
Yeah.
2 bites of cheesecake.
You remember at 50/50 burger, like you guys were having to make me eat like the cookies and shit. Cause like, I mean, I was content with just the burger and fries.
That's why I said you're not gonna get big if you only eat 2 bites.
Yeah. Dude, Chris, the whole
I think
weekend
it
we
was
were in
Nick that
Vegas,
said
you just,
that, not me.
yeah, you just keep saying, oh, you want to grow, don't you? I'm like, motherfucker, stop making me eat.
I remember, I think it was when we got those cinnamon roll things. I
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
I don't even want any more. Like, I'm just kind of here supporting her because she wants to eat because she just went through, I don't know how long the prep was, but
Yeah.
at that point I was like, I'm not really craving that much. Like, I enjoyed the food and the donuts, don't get me wrong. But like, I was kind of getting tired of the food myself.
I feel like I got like
Okay.
intoxicated from all of the sugar in that Cinnaholics place. Like it was just so heavy at a certain point that I just kind of like keeled over. I was like, I'm good. Chris, how's your off season going? Health is back on track now?
Yeah, so it's going really good. Me and Nick Justice are working together now. I'm in like a health get sensitive phase pretty much. Which is just like learning the program obviously and like getting everything moving, but I feel really freaking good. Training is like I love to train again. I love to eat again. So really I can't complain at all. Like Nick's been dude the program detailing is so much. I'm like, this is cool. Like every single like thing I can track now. And I'm just having fun, really.
I feel like that's the easiest way to follow a plan is when you enjoy it, but also like there's a variety in it.
Yeah.
Um, so even like Justin was saying, like having different options for his cheat meals that he likes to do. And I don't know, maybe I should start mixing it up a little bit. Maybe I'm getting a little too static with my routine. I don't know.
You need to go have a garlic parmesan stuffed crust pizza from Domino's with like 4 kinds of meats on it.
What was that the one thing you were talking about a few weeks ago? That stuffed crust? The
Yes, it's like, dude, it's revolutionary.
I just I'll say this, I don't eat that much dairy, so I feel like I
Don't
would
do that. No, don't do that.
yeah, like I feel like that just would not digest well.
Probably not. Or just go like even like a nice like Katie and I've been doing it like just getting like some nice ribeye steaks, like go splurge, you know what I mean? Buy nice cuts of meat or something, like take
Go
the
to
time,
Aldi.
have fun. Yeah, go to Aldi.
This isn't like
Aldi,
super
Aldi,
nice or anything, but I'll go to like Longhorn or not Longhorn. Where'd we go?
Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah, Texas Roadhouse, and just get like an 8-ounce sirloin and a potato, and like
Yeah.
it's a cheat meal, but it's like
It's
not.
clean.
I make sure I'm like no butters, no oils, like, and
Yeah.
you I like I'll eat the rolls. I don't fuck around with that. I'll eat some rolls, but I usually don't even eat that cinnamon butter or anything. Or if I do, it's like very little. So it's like it's a cheat meal, but like still pretty
Yeah.
clean for cheat meal. But it's nice just not having to cook it yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
I've got my guy who's 12 days out from the Arizona Championship, and I asked him today when we were training legs, I was like, "What are you looking forward to eating?" And you know what he said? He goes, "Orange chicken from Panda Express." I was like, bro, I haven't eaten orange chicken from Panda Express since like, you know how like you'd go to the mall and like in the food court they'd hand out little samples. Like, dude, I think Panda Express is just garbage food, and he loves it though. That's his favorite.
I just feel like it would make me sick because I never eat it.
Yeah.
So that and Italian food. I do like Italian food, like pasta, but I am like afraid that it's just gonna destroy my stomach. So I never get it. And now like I might even just be making it up. I don't know because I haven't had it in so long. But like I get nervous with my cheat meals. Like, is this gonna wreck my stomach? I don't if it's not I don't it's not gonna be worth it if I'm shitting my brains out for the next 2 hours. Like
Yeah, that's kind of my thing. Why like also too, I know my body digests a burger and fries super easy. That's always what I carb up with for shows. So I kind of just like say that's routine and I do it just because like I know it's gonna work. Like I always look better the next day too. Like my body processes the food pretty well. But I feel like if I ate, say, like some fettuccine Alfredo and shit, oh my God, bro. I feel like I would just want to throw up.
You just pregame it with digestives, and then postgame it with more digestives.
I always make sure I take my greens. So my vitamin supplement is a powder and it's got like digestive enzymes and stuff in it. And then my green supplement has obviously a bunch of greens and vitamins and minerals and it has like probiotics and digestive enzymes in it. And I usually like pregame my cheat meals with that.
Oh yeah, it's a game changer.
This is gonna sound kind of crazy, but I'll just throw it out there. So before I moved, like before maybe 3, 4 months ago, I did blood work, and it was probably like the best looking blood work I ever had. And like, I don't know what your guys' vitamin stack looks like, but I'm not even exaggerating. I was probably taking like 30 capsules per day. But I mean, like, not even crazy, like vitamin D, vitamin C, K2, zinc, calcium, fish oil, just whatever, basic over the counter shit. And I got to a point where I was just like, fuck, this is so many pills to like swallow every morning. And so I kind of like, as I was moving, just let my vitamins like deplete down. And I'm excited because I want to do blood work again and see if there's honestly any noticeable difference in any which category. Because like I feel the best I've ever felt, but also relative to the fact that I'm like, okay, was I just wasting money on supplements or was that even like beneficial for anything I'm doing for my health? Because like, dude, I mean, it would probably take me 10 minutes to like go like pill, water, like, cause like
Damn.
I can only do like 4 at a time, you know?
Why I love my multivitamin is it's a powder supplement and then I mix it with my greens powder, which is another one. So I don't have to take as many pills anymore. So I'll take like fish oil, but I know at this point, I pretty much take it's called Liver Plus. I pretty much take it basically year round now. Because anytime like my liver enzymes were a little off or anything was a little off my blood work, we typically did that. Now I just kind of run it year round. But it has that supplement for sure. That and like curcumin and Tudka,
Yeah.
those are help my blood work. We'll get blood work, and if something's a little off, we'll take those supplements. 4 to 6 weeks later, everything's always better. So that's one of those things. Like I said, now I just kind of take it year round because it's been so beneficial in making sure my labs are good.
Yeah. I mean, like, obviously everyone's body's going to respond differently, but I just felt like it got to the point where I would almost have to wake up 30 minutes earlier just to take my vitamins and like get out the door to do whatever I was doing. And now that obviously like I'm not doing in-person coach anymore, I'm just doing online, like my days are so much more wide open, which is great. But at the same time, like not saying I miss a 30-minute vitamin ritual every morning, but I just want to know like, was that actually beneficial for my health or was it just kind of like overkill? Because I
You
guess
think though,
it is overkill.
with a balanced diet, I mean, if you're eating a good amount of a variety of things, you, in theory, you don't need all the supplementation. You know
Right.
what I mean?
That's my thought too.
I'm big on like you're supplementing deficiencies or you're protecting.
Yeah, that's kind of what my thought process has been. And for as spot on as my diet and nutrition is, I'm just like, okay, like,
Yeah.
what am I doing? You know what I mean? So I don't know. We'll find out pretty soon. I'm gonna do blood work here in the next couple weeks and just kind of get a baseline again. But now it's been maybe a couple months that I've kind of cut back on all the vitamins, and so I'm like, all right, well, you never want to fix something if it's not broken, but also like to a
Right.
certain degree, like what if it wasn't broken before or after? I guess.
You
Dude,
could
one thing that's changed. Oh, go ahead.
no, you go ahead. You're good.
The bile booster from Imminent. I thought it was like snake oil, dude. That's helped.
Lot.
Yeah, that and then Nick has me on colostrum. And I was like, okay. And then but dude, it's like game changer in terms of like GI health. I saw Bowel Booster. I've been using that for like 4 or 5 months now. Like you don't hold that like layer of water by like 5, 6 p.m., whatever, you know what I mean? Like I thought it was all bullshit, and then I was like, like I'm gonna try this, see what's up. And it's pretty as a daily supplement, it's like, all right, this is worth its weight in money.
Hmm.
I think
All
there's
right,
definitely some things that are like fish oil, it's kind of pointless, but then
Yeah,
there's for sure that like are beneficial.
yeah, 100%.
might have to look into that. I don't know. I just like, eh,
And 20 test boosters.
well, just at a certain point, like I said, it just felt like overkill and not even from a financial standpoint, but just almost from like my time every morning. Like my morning routine was literally wake up, take a piss, step on the scale, cool, log my weight, and then literally fill up 16 ounces of water, take my vitamins. And it literally would take me like, I'm not even exaggerating, 30 minutes. I'm like, dude, this is ridiculous that like I'm taking this many capsules and vitamins every single morning. So I don't know. We'll see what my blood work comes back as, but I'll keep you guys
And
posted.
maybe kind of cut it down to like the bare minimum and kind of see where things at, like a multivitamin, a fish oil, and if you need to, like a liver and kidney supplement or something.
Yeah, I do think there's important ones, kind of like the ones you mentioned. I mean, I throw biotin in there just obviously for like hair, nail, skin, shit like that. But like other ones, like again, like I probably don't need a vitamin C, a vitamin D. I probably don't need I don't know, just certain zinc, magnesium, all that other bullshit. And I'm just like, all right, you know what? So it'll be interesting to see because like I think we're all creatures of habit as bodybuilders, that it's like when you get good blood work, well, why would I change anything? But now the theory is like almost, okay, well, I do believe less is more with everything. So what if I can still get clean blood work without taking 30 supplements?
You're eating like 300 grams of berries a day. You should be good on most of those vitamins you just named.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true too. Um,
And
Justin, I'll talk about
you should be getting a decent amount of vitamins and like minerals and maybe some fiber in there too.
Mhm.
Justin, you want to talk about Chicago Pro at all?
Oh, so Chris has kind of heard most of this now. Obviously, second place is pretty awesome. Chicago's a pretty good high caliber show, and second place, nothing to hang your head at with that. With that being said, we are disappointed. Mainly, I mean, you know how it is. At prejudging, there's center, second, third, fourth, fifth. So if you're holding down that center spot the entire time of prejudging, that's a good indication, not a guarantee, but a good indication you might be winning. Especially so in this case, they called the first call outs, they walk out, they immediately move her to center, and then she
Right.
didn't. They were up there for a long time. She didn't
Yeah,
move.
I saw
They
the
moved girls
videos.
around her, but they didn't move her at all, and she looked great. Um, and
Substantially improved from Olympia, even.
yeah, and we improved the hams, the glutes, and the back, which is the main things that need to improve. And with improving those, indirectly, her shape became a little bit better. Her waist, she doesn't have the smallest waist. It's not bad, but it's not like some of these black girls, their waists are non-existent. You know,
Genetics.
and so that made her shape look better and her waist look smaller, relatively.
Right.
So, but then finals come around and they did the confirmation round and she slipped to second. And they said she was just a little bit flatter. And I will admit this: the time between prejudging and finals, every competitor dealt with the same timeline we had. So
Right.
that's a fair playing field. I'm not saying that was unfair, but it's frustrating because they were supposed to start prejudging at 3 p.m. and it was women's figure at 3, not all of prejudging. They didn't start. She didn't get on stage until 4:30, so they're an hour and a half behind. She gets off stage around 4:45 or 4:45, 5. She had to be back on stage at like 7. Well, with that, we had like no time, and we knew finals was starting at 6. So we, got off stage at 5. Final starts at 6. We're like, we don't have time to like leave the venue. We don't have time really for anything. She was like, should I go to the room? I'm like, by the time you go to your room, you're gonna come right back down. You're not gonna like have time to lay down or anything.
Yeah.
And so I was like, there's really no point even going to the room. And usually we do a burger and fries in between prejudging the finals to make sure she doesn't get flat with the sodium and the fat and the carbs. And I'm like, the worst part I think is I knew she was going to get flat, especially because now it's 5 o'clock and she's had 2 meals. Typically, before the finals, we have at least 3, including a burger and fries, sometimes 4 meals.
Yep.
And some rice cakes. And so I'm like, you're going to get flat. We just got to start eating some peanut butter and rice cakes, put a bunch of salt on it, trying to mimic the macros of like a burger.
Yeah.
It just wasn't enough. And, I take the responsibility as a coach. It's my fault. She did what she was supposed to. The timeline just wasn't ideal. And like I said, everybody dealt with the same timeline. So that's fair across the board. And unfortunately, she did get a little bit flatter. She still looked great. And it's frustrating when you're winning 80% of the time between prejudging and finals, but that last 20% was enough to knock you into second. It's disappointing. And we even talked to the judges and they said she was in first after prejudging. It was just came in a little flatter at finals. So
Wild.
bittersweet, a good placing, but it's like that close to another win in Olympia qualification. So we were both pretty disappointed. And it seemed she was hands down in first place after prejudging, and she deserved it, but we just didn't finish it. And again, as the coach, that's my fault. I knew the problem that was going to come up, and we just didn't have the time to correct it. And it just kind of is what it is.
Yeah, that's hard. And not to say the outcome would have been any different had you have been there. I mean, props to you for obviously peaking her as well as you did for not being there in person. But like when I saw the videos originally, I'm like, okay, I'm like, it looks like it was pretty much her and the taller girl who could go either way. Then you start comparing just the two of them, right? And I'm like, okay, I thought Liz had a better back and a better midsection. Like I thought her core of her abs was just way tighter. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like it looks like she's got this. And then, like you said, just that time in between prejudging and finals where she flattened out. And normally, you're right, I would do the same thing, burger and fries in between prejudging and finals. And so, like, even with my athlete who's 12 days out, like, we haven't even gotten anything with an athlete check-in time for the day before, and we have no idea of the event day. And I'm like trying to figure out exactly, okay, what time do I want him to wake up? Because I want him to get X amount of meals in before. I want him to carb up at a certain time, and I'll be with him, so it's going to be hopefully a little bit more manageable. But even at the same time, like there's only so much you can control, and everyone's going to deal with the same issues. But it's just frustrating when like, okay, like I'm literally trying to peak somebody. I need to know what time does this motherfucker need to wake up at? What time do we need to start eating? How much time in between meals? What time for the pump up? Like all this shit, because there is a science to it. And if you can't calculate it accordingly, then it's going to just, whatever happens is going to happen, you know?
It's a game of inches, and like it's can be a matter of minutes, and getting the right foods in at the right time with the right water, right sodium. And in this case, I knew what the problem was. We just didn't have enough time to correct it, given the circumstances. And that's all it took to not get a win and lose an Olympia qualification.
Yeah, when we were talking over text after, she was like, I'm pissed. I was like, I would be too. I mean, you didn't show up there to get second place, and the fact that you were literally that fucking close to getting back to the Olympia, like I would be upset as well. So it's like, yeah, you're proud that you got second at the Chicago Pro, but it's also still like, fuck, dude, like now I gotta run back another show to try to get that qualification. And for lack of words, the clock's ticking because Olympia is what, 12 and a half weeks out now. So realistically, like
And in
even
the third or fourth position in prejudging, it would have been less of a disappointment.
right,
Because then all right, she's probably getting second, third, or fourth. But when you were in center that whole
you're
time,
there.
I'm pretty sure we have this locked down.
Yeah. Well, okay, so with that being said, what's the plan now? Is she gonna do another show or
Tampa next weekend.
that's kind of what I was assuming. But I mean, the only unfortunate part about that is obviously with the Olympia being in say 12 or 12 and a half weeks, like that only allows you so much time to improve in between those shows. So it's like that's the hardest part now, I would say, as the athlete and the coach, where it's like, okay, like yeah, you would hope to get your qualification as early as possible, but again, like you're just gonna have to do the best you can with the timetable you've got.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, last year we had a longer prep, and I think there was only 6 or 7 weeks between her pro win, Olympia qualification win, and the Olympia. So even if we have 12 weeks, that's an improvement. That gives us time to come off, a little less cardio, more food, a little break, and she'll be in shape. And so like she's been doing less cardio this last week than she was prior, because once you're in shape, it's like easier to stay in shape than it is to get into shape first. So her cardio is at like half of what it has been. And so hopefully we can get the win here, and then we'll have 11, 12 weeks or whatever, be able to kind of give her body a little bit of a break. She'll stay in shape and then kind of run the last few weeks hard, and be good to go. Plus, we know the condition she's in right now is probably more ideal for the Olympia. Last year we were too lean, and Sandy told us that. And when I saw the first call outs, I knew that was an issue. I'm like, all right, we're too lean. That's a problem. So she's already lean enough, and probably the ideal leanness for figure as Sandy as a head judge. So we got to work with the timeline that we're given, and I'm confident that we'll do better than we did last year for sure. And
Yeah.
We'll bring an improved package from last year as well. And the timeline is what it is.
I mean, she's right there, and obviously in the mix. Like when you land in second place, like obviously in my eyes, I'm like, okay, they're definitely doing another show because you're just not just gonna fold on the season like that. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, didn't get it. We're done. So I figured you guys were doing another show. I just hadn't talked to her this week to see what the plan was. So I figured I'd ask you right now, and hopefully she gets it done at Tampa, and we can all book our ship for Vegas after that because that'd be dope. But yeah, it's just Bittersweet would probably be the only way to describe a second place finish at Chicago Pro. And I even felt that for both of you guys. So
Yeah, we're trying to still, obviously, still, as you can tell, I'm a little bitter about it. But I mean,
yeah.
second place at the Chicago Pro is objectively pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty damn good. But at the same time, it's not the Olympia
We don't
quality.
strive for good.
So
We
it's hard.
strive for perfect. And we like to win. So
Yeah, no, I know. And that's the thing. But hopefully, obviously wishing her the best of luck at Tampa. Hopefully she can get the job done there. And I mean, that's the thing too. It's like not just within these shows, but in terms of like her physique overall in the pro circuit, she's right there in the mix, deserving to be on that stage. It's just a matter of where she can earn it. And so like I think that's the hardest pill to swallow too, where it's like, you're an Olympian. You've done it in years past. So now, like, okay, it's just a matter of where can I win to get back there.
yeah, and it was cool. At Chicago, I think there was 30 girls total in
Yeah.
figure. It's like, they had the first impressions. There's probably 6 different call outs for the first impressions. And it was very clear that she was one of the top. Like, no doubt. It was like, all right, that's first call outs for sure. I've seen 3 or 4 other girls that might be comparable. And then you do the first call out where you get those girls next to her and you're like, nah, she's top 1 or 2. Like it was pretty clear. And that's no shade on any other athletes. First call outs look great.
Yeah.
But I think her physique was that good that it was very obvious she deserved a top spot, not necessarily first place, but she was one of the top ones there, obviously.
Yeah, she's right there. And I mean, even just a side by side photo, I think she tagged me in where it was the improvement from to Chicago Pro now versus Olympia last year. Like, yeah, she's made a ton of progress. So, I mean, again, she's knocking on the door, and fingers crossed, I'll be rooting for you guys to get that qualification next week. So, wishing her the best if she hears this.
Yeah, thank you.
Um, man, did you guys have any friends compete at USA's this past weekend?
The his name's Chris Massaro.
Dude, I
the-
I saw a photo of that guy earlier today, and I was gonna bring his name up. That's so funny you said that. But like that guy looks insane.
You see his back double bicep is nuts.
Insane.
Yeah.
He's a big dude. I didn't compete with him at junior nationals 2 years ago. We competed, and that's where I met him. He was in heavies and I was light heavies, but that's like where I met him. So it was cool to see him because he won the overall at junior nats that year. And then he just came back, and if I remember right, this is his first show since then.
Yeah, this is gonna be his pro debut. He looks literally like I saw a photo he posted from Dragon's Lair earlier. Someone posted of him. Maybe it was Bodybuilders Without Borders, but like, dude, I literally like it is just freaky how much muscle mass this guy has.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Dude. Didn't your guy Justin Wyatt just do a show somewhere?
Um, no, he was
It was a guest posing.
Justin Abbott.
Yeah.
Yeah. He did guest posing and I think the Arkansas show. And then he's doing Texas.
Okay. Jordan's doing that one too, yeah?
Yeah, him and Jordan are doing Texas, but Jordan just announced he's going to do Tampa too.
All that. And Justin Shire's doing Tampa. That'll be good.
I was wondering because I saw pictures of him getting in shape, and
Dude, he looks so fucking good.
He does look insane. And I don't know, like I feel like he looks bigger than obviously previous years, but like when I say it, I couldn't see how he was going to get better. He was already so good and qualified for the Olympia. So I don't know. I mean, this should be an even much more improved version of him, which is crazy.
From the back. He hasn't posted anything from the back though. But that's, I think,
yeah. That's good. No, I was saying you're right. I don't think I've seen anything from the back now that you say that.
That's the one thing. I think I sent a picture of him to Justin. I was like, this is my hands down like favorite front double bicep. But
Yeah.
like I think that's the one thing that's always hurt Justin Shire because he's super complete besides the back. But I think of it, he brings that up like that's just a crazy nutty structure.
Yeah, he's got a good taper. He's got such a little waist.
Yeah, long torso, giant fucking arms.
How tall is he? He's not like super tall, right?
No, I don't think so.
I think because he went pro classic, and I think he was like class B, so that means he's like 5'7", 5'8", something like that.
I think when he won the Chicago Pro, he was only like 220 some pounds too.
Yeah.
I think that was like 2 years ago or something.
Yeah, I love him as a bodybuilder. I like watching his training.
Yeah.
Very, very, very particular guy.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a lot of exciting shows coming up. Let me ask you guys this, and this is a debate I've been seeing a lot online. Do you think that there's too many pro cards being awarded?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, first and foremost, I don't think second place deserves a pro card in any division at all. You're not the best on the stage that day. Why would you literally lost? You didn't win. So why do you deserve a pro card?
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you guys have seen it, but a couple of pages have been posting the like percentage breakdowns of
Yeah, I
how
think I
many cards
screenshotted it.
were awarded. And I do get women's physique, women's bodybuilding will never have 30 people in a class. But I
Right.
think it was 12 athletes and 7 pro cards given, which was like 58% of them. And it's like, I do understand there's only so many athletes in some of the classes, but that means that, some of those people got pro cards nearly on default. You had 2 people in your class or something, or,
Well,
again,
that's how USA's was just like that. They posted something, and I need to see the legitimacy of it, but they said I think it was wellness and figure or something like that, where they didn't have enough athletes in either
Yeah,
class, something like that, and the girls cross competed. They paid their entry
yep,
fees, and it's like, dude, at that point, then you have a girl. I don't quote me on this. Someone told me this. I hate if I got this wrong, but they said that the figure pro now, like she won her pro card figure, was a wellness girl that won it, and it's just like she couldn't open her lats up or whatever, and it's just like, wait a minute.
I get that was like a nice thing for those girls to do, and that was all in like a good. Their heart was in the right place, but then yeah, then you got people winning pro cards in whether either they don't deserve them yet or maybe not in that division.
Then
And
it's like you have say you have like your middleweight guys in bodybuilding. Maybe you only have like 3 guys because middleweight and your middle bantams, those kind of guys, they're just not going to be a lot of competitors. So then you
yeah,
have some men's physique guys like, yeah, I'll enter because they don't have a lot of size. I'll enter for you guys. Well, then now you have a freaking oh, there goes Scott,
his computer died or something.
probably.
Still says it's recording. So
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, whatever. Well, then you have men's physique dude up there posing with bodybuilders, and it's like, well, make fucking sense.
yeah, like I don't know how to remedy that because some of it's just on a lack of competitors in that class at that show at the time. But you can't have 30, 40, 50% of a division going pro in one show. Like that's
Yeah,
too many. And again, first and
that's why
foremost,
they have the minimum number.
2 second place cards in my
Yeah,
mind. That's how I feel. Like again,
I agree.
and I personally would be pissed if I won on a second place because it's like I literally lost. I don't deserve that yet.
Yeah, I agree. And that's why now you're having these shows. Well, like last year they had like 60 something classic dudes at the Olympia.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit, how do you even judge that? You know what I mean?
Like there's no way. Like if you're not the top, like in the classic, if you weren't the top 10 or 15 guys that we all know,
Yeah,
you're not really getting a look.
yeah, 100%.
Ramon, yours, Chris when he was competing, who else? Summerfeld,
Yeah,
Ruffin, But if you're not one of those, Logan Franklin, if you're not one of those guys, you're not really getting a look, and it's not fair.
no,
And like I do get it. The judges only have so much time. I'm not even placing blame on anyone. I don't know who to blame other than there just being too many pro shows to qualify at, I guess.
you
But
could
then,
do back to like point systems, you know what I mean? Where it's like, you got to have, because what the Tupelo is coming up, the Tupelo Pro is like one of the smallest, you know what I mean, United States pro shows. And it's like, dude, your call out for classic's gonna be like 8 guys, you
yeah,
know? So then it's just like, what are we gonna do? Or like you're saying with Logan Franklin, love Logan Franklin as a bodybuilder. Like he's had this cool ass career, I've always looked up to him. But I know hands down there's some dudes that aren't as well known that would blow him out of the water in the pro league, you
yeah,
know? But if they don't have that look, then what are you gonna do?
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
With
so
that, I don't really know how to. I don't have an answer on how to like fix that or change that, but
Me neither.
like something has to be done. You can't have a single class in a pro, at the Olympia with 60 people in it.
Yeah.
You just can't give everyone an equal look.
No.
Sorry guys, I think my internet cut out, but were you guys still in the Zoom while I was just gone?
Yeah, I said it was recording, so we just
Oh
kind of
shit! All right,
like,
dope.
oh, the computer died, but he'll probably get back on.
Yeah, no, it was funny because I was thinking in my head, I was like, oh shit, how am I gonna edit this? I was just gonna be like, beep, technical difficulty standby.
Yeah, we were like,
But
so
no,
I think
I lost you guys when we were talking about the too many pro cards being awarded. It sounds like Justin, obviously you said yes. Chris, what was your take on it?
I agree. I mean, I would also be a liar if I said if I won pro at like a second place pro card, it would
Yeah.
be pretty cool, going pro that way or just having a card. But I agree fully. Like, you don't need a second place pro card. You know what I mean? Go back to like how long ago was it? Like in the 2000s, you know what I mean? When your junior shows, you had to win your junior shows to go to your national shows. You know what I mean? Now you have junior USAs, junior nationals, all this random stuff, and it's just like in Europe, they don't give out piss for pro cards, and they have look at the competitors that come out of Europe that are pros are exponentially more competitive than the United States.
Yeah, I've
So
seen some pro people compete lately, um, and I was like, there's amateurs right now that look better than this pro person.
Yep.
And I'm not gonna say any names, but that shouldn't be the case.
No, they shouldn't. And you go to Europe and you look at their amateurs and you're like, holy shit, like this dude still meets an amateur weight cap. It's just crazy.
So I will say, like, obviously, if the debate is there's too many pro cards being awarded, then like both you guys said, then there should be no longer like any shows that offer second place still wins. Now again, without a doubt, if I were able to earn a pro card, even in a second place position, yeah, I would be ecstatic. But like, I can only imagine winning your class and truly winning that pro card is going to feel a little bit different than I got second, I still turned pro, It's like, yeah, sure, job's done, but it's not like you won the class. So it is different. But that,
Also with masters. Like
huh?
I think if you go pro as a masters, you can only compete as a masters pro.
I,
You
I
know,
That's
talk about
that's been another debate too. Yeah.
I think it's
versus like you
especially
should have like a clear line in the sand where it's like, okay, this is an IFBB pro, this is an IFBB masters pro.
yeah.
You know what
And
I'd be
then
curious to see and I'm sure like NPC, IFBB has like data on this, but I would like to imagine, let's just say from the 80s, like from the golden era, right? There's been an upward trend of the amount of people who are actively competing versus like from the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s, like there weren't as many people doing this. So maybe, and I'm just hypothesizing out loud, but maybe their whole thought process is, well, because the sport has increased with how many more people are actively competing, we should allow these second place pro cards to be a thing, I don't know. But I would think, because to me, I would say like even from when I started 8 years ago, like not to say bodybuilding was very niche 8 years ago, but now I feel like it's a lot more common and there's a lot more people who are actively doing it. So I don't know. I think maybe that's just their way of like being inclusive, because obviously we know it's a business at the end of the day. And with like introducing things like the fit model or a men's fit model division, which we're all sure is soon to come, that's just another way to basically get entry level or people like integrated into the sport.
yeah,
They
I
did
think
it with classic, but now, like we just talked about, there's so many fucking people. It's like, dude, you got to draw that line in the sand.
Yeah. Well, like
somewhere
I
there's gotta be something done. And I do get the business point, which is like we were talking when you were about how there was like 50 or 60 classic physique pros at the Olympia.
yeah.
Like they all won a show, and like I can't say they don't deserve to be there, but you can't fairly judge that many people in a single class. Not everyone's going to get a look, and that's I'm not blaming the judges because there's only so much they can do, and I'm not blaming the competitors because they won a show, which gives them the right to
Yeah,
be
100%.
somewhere. Something has to be done where you don't have 50 or 60 people in a class, and it also waters down the competition when they give out so many pro cards. Again, when I see someone with a pro card getting on a pro stage that doesn't look as good as some amateurs, I'm like, well,
Right.
what are we doing up here? Like,
Yeah.
and that's nothing against the individual athlete. They won that card fair and square according to the rules. But like, and I don't have the answer either because like all those classic physique competitors, all I can think of is like, well, there's got to be less shows that qualify for the Olympia, but they wouldn't do that because that means losing money as a business.
Right. So then you do the points again.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you think going back to a point system makes a difference? Because essentially, I mean, I don't want to say that affects the longevity of an athlete's ability to compete for however many
Yeah.
years. But like in a sense, like if you're continually having to deplete yourself for a show, how many years in a row can you do this points race to try to get that Olympia qualification, you know?
Don't you
Then
think
you're gonna go
like that
ahead.
would make it worse though? Because if you like for classic, we had we'll just say 60 dudes.
Okay.
All 60 of them won a
Right.
pro Olympia qualifying event. Well, so you got next year you got 60 winners again, plus you got another 10 that won because they did 4 shows and got top 3 at 4 of them and got enough points. So, and I think that would bring in more people that
Yeah,
didn't
I see
even
what
win
you're
a
saying.
show. It's like, I kind of feel
Yeah.
this. If you didn't win the show, why would you be? Why should you be qualified to the top?
For the best stage, yeah.
Yeah, no, I see that too.
That makes sense actually when you explain it like that. I see that.
I
The
think
pro to it would be more guys competing. You're gonna have more guys like having legit seasons, you know what I mean, of like 3 or 4 shows instead of I'm gonna do a show in January, which if they win, hell yeah, like you deserve to be at the Olympia, but then you know, one and done. And then versus like you have this like string of like or bring back the like the circuits, you know what I mean? When they had all the cool ass circuits in Europe and stuff like that.
I
I
mean,
wasn't around for it, but I heard it was pretty cool.
or you could just be like that bikini girl, Ashley Kaltwasser, and just do every bikini show, win every bikini show,
Yeah.
prevent everyone else from winning and qualifying, and then eliminate the class like that. I guess that's one way.
That's being competitive. Like that's what you should do at the sport. You know what I mean? It's the same as well, I'm trying to think of like other sports that you could possibly do this in.
I mean, I get it. Like you play to win, and so obviously, like I do agree, like winning a show should qualify you. But then, kind of like how do you narrow it down? And again, is it that there's too many out like and that's where like I guess there's so many sides to the argument. But that's where I was saying like I just feel like the popularity of the sport since again just say the '80s has only increased. So that's why there's so many pros, so many people qualifying for Olympia. You know what I mean? Shit like that. And it just seems to me that it's become more popular. That's really all it comes down to in my eyes. But I don't know how to
Yeah,
fix it.
I think it's definitely grown over the last 20 or 30 years, and that's probably part of it.
Yeah.
And I don't have the answer to this dilemma, but I don't know.
Just
The only
just
thing that
to give
that's
you
definitive in my mind is I don't agree with second place pro cards, and that right
Yeah.
there would
just to
plenty of
give you some of the data, like what you were talking about, I'll look at this one specifically. It was NPC Nationals versus NPC USA. And so it has here number of pro cards awarded. So at USA, there was 7 pro cards and only 12 athletes. So 58.3% of them won pro cards, whereas North Americans, 6 pro cards and that was out of 29 athletes for women's physique. I'm just referencing that because that was the first category. But so a difference of 20.7% versus 58.3. That's a huge, huge difference.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
think even 27%. I mean, that's basically a third. That's kind of a lot. Like
Yeah.
turn pro, like
What was it like in like 2000, 2 or 3, whatever? Was it only your overall winners? Because this was just you only had bodybuilding,
that.
right?
That would maybe. I don't think I would be against that if it was just overall.
I think he's right because it did used to be just the overalls like would win pro cards, right?
Yeah. Which I mean, I kind of see class
That
two.
would really eliminate a lot of pro cards.
Yeah.
Shit,
Then it's
yep.
like
if they're gonna switch it.
the problem is there too is like that could work, but also at the same time it couldn't because you could have a really badass light heavy guy and then a super heavy. The chances of a super heavy winning overalls are 90%. Or you have a class A dude that looks nuts, and then you have a class D or whatever. You know, it's like, dude, it's apples to oranges. I mean, how
Yeah,
can you like?
it's hard to judge that because of the size and weight difference, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no real answer to it, at least that I think we're gonna come up with today, but it's just a debate that I see. What's that?
There's no easy answer.
No. And again, I mean, there's a lot of other smart people getting paid way more than us to talk about this that will figure it out. But the point I'm getting at is it's just a debate you see going on online. And again, kind of like Chris said, I have yet to earn my pro card. So if I could get it with a first place, yeah, I'd be fucking ecstatic that I won my class. But even if I got it as a second place, I'm still going to be just as ecstatic. I'm not going to lie. But did I fully earn it? Maybe not.
I would love to see the statistics of second place pro winners and I don't even know how to phrase it. Like, how statistically, guys that have won their second place pro card, how good were they? Yeah, in the league, like what compared to
Don't
first
quote
place?
me, but I think Ross Flanagan is the only second place pro card winner to
Yeah,
win a go to the Olympia. Don't quote me,
Well,
but
so
I think he's the only second place guy to to win a pro show after turning pro.
So I don't know who said this, but it was in reference to how many pro cards are floating around out there. And yeah, like not to diminish that achievement because it is a huge achievement, but like someone was saying like yeah, earning a pro card, it's cool, it's an accomplishment, but it's what you do with the pro card next that really
yeah,
people are going to pay attention to. And that's why obviously I know Justin's taking his off season very serious until he's feeling confident and ready that he's going to step on stage and do some damage, but it's the same thing where um I mean, again, like how many people get drafted into just say the MLB, but how many Hall of Famers come out of that draft? You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's cool that you made it to the pros, but what you do in the pros is what cements your legacy, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah. And realistically, someone who did win a second place pro card could be a good pro. If they
Yeah.
got second place at a national show, they were probably right there. And it was, maybe in a year, look at me. I got it twice. It was just a matter of time for me. And
yeah.
so I would say a lot of those second place card winners probably could earn it in a year or two.
Hmm.
Um, and even if they won it on a second place and they take a good year or two off season, they could become a top pro. Obviously if they
Sure.
got second, they're not bad. Um,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I still think that
Well,
I agree with the second place pro card. And if you're good enough and you got a second place, come back in a year or two, and you probably should get it.
Yeah,
well,
that's fair.
Well, there's like this girl, I don't know her real name, but she just won her pro card at USA's, and she won the overall for wellness. She looks insane, and she's literally been knocking on the door for a pro card for the last maybe 2 or 3 seasons since she came across my Instagram or whatever. But the long story short is like you could tell this was someone who, like Justin said, it was only a matter of time. And then again, like this is someone who probably will be a force to reckon with in the wellness category coming up soon. So shout out
Yeah,
to her. I
a
mean, obviously she
little
looks
more
great,
help.
but it's sometimes it is just timing. Sometimes it's a matter of doing the right shows. But I mean, again, like yeah, her physique has improved year after year after year, and based on the trajectory of what she's doing to get better each year, yeah, I would only imagine now that she's got that pro card, she's probably going to be a force to reckon with soon. So I don't know. I mean, it's just Justin, you're the same way where it's like you were right there, and then boom, you fucking did it. So same thing where it's like okay, you were good, you got better, then you got great. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like there's just levels to it.
And I'll tell you, from experience, those losses where she was close, I guarantee fueled her
Yeah.
hard off
Yeah,
season year or two until she did get it. Because I
Uh,
know, I only had one off season between my first attempt at a pro card, and my when I did get it, and I was extremely motivated. So those
well,
wins probably made her, or those losses made
yeah.
her a better bodybuilder and fueled her for the next year or two until she did earn it.
I mean, I had a few friends at USA's this weekend who turned pro, and I'll be honest, there's a buddy of mine who him and I started our bodybuilding journey together in 2018. We were training partners for the first 2 seasons underneath the same coach that Liz had worked with, Justin. And long story short, he went this weekend. He placed top 5 in his class, but meanwhile, one of his clients, natural, 100% natural, earned his pro card. So he coached someone to become a pro while he missed the mark. And I was like, damn, I was like, that's a tough pill to swallow because it's like you're so happy for your client that you were able to get them to that level, but it's also like, damn, like I still got to improve myself. And obviously he's not taking it in a negative way. He still enjoyed the weekend, smiled for all the photos and was right back in the gym today, like he should be. But the point I'm getting at is it I would imagine that is just something hard to deal with that loss. But again, it's those losses that are the lessons that if you really are serious about this shit, you're going to double, triple, and quadruple down on what you got to do to win. So I don't doubt that my boy Nate will be back there. But he said, he goes, I'll probably take 2 years to grow and then I'll be back and hopefully I'll get what I deserve. So got to earn it.
That's the right attitude.
Yeah,
And
everything takes time.
100%. I think it's got to be from it's hard though because like obviously that's the first guy he ever coached to becoming a pro, and obviously this guy was to earn your pro card natural is fucking insane. But just also at the same time it's bittersweet where it's like damn, like I was hoping to turn pro at the same show.
Yeah, but they always say like if you can't lose, you don't deserve to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if he was a bad sport about it, which I'm sure he wasn't, obviously.
No, he took it like a champ.
Yeah, if you got some dude that like fucking throws a tantrum, whatever, it's like you're not ready to be pro, dude. You just fucking lost, and now you're crying about it. Like,
No, he literally posted him at the gym training chest. He said they said more depth in my chest. Cool, let's hit chest. Like, just run it back.
yeah.
All right, I got one more for today, and this one I actually heard on that podcast with Nick and Danilo. But I wanted to ask you guys, outside of bodybuilding, what is one of your biggest pet peeves? I know what mine is. I can go first or I can go last. Doesn't matter.
Like in life.
Yeah, just in life. Outside of bodybuilding, one of your biggest pet peeves. You want to know what mine is?
Yeah.
Okay. Say you're on an elevator, right? And like the elevator door opens and someone just rushes into the elevator before they ever give you literally a split second just to get off. It would be the same thing if like you were in an Uber and like the Uber pulled up and you were getting out and someone else was trying to get in and they just sandwich you in the vehicle and you're like, there's only one door I can get out of. Like, let me fucking out before you jump in. Like, I just think that's so rude. And I haven't had it happen to me at the building I'm in now, fortunately. But the other building I lived in, it was like an everyday thing. And like literally then it's like this awkward, like, excuse me. And it's like, motherfucker, just wait 2 seconds. Let me get out of the elevator and you can get in. Like, it's so simple. But like, dude, anytime it happens and people look at you like you're the rude one, when it's like, dude, like I was on the elevator first. I'm just trying to get off. Let me off and then you can go right in. That is my biggest pet peeve, and I fucking hate when it happens. So fortunately, has not happened in my new building, but I was thinking about it the other day.
I just had that exact conversation. It's like, dude, when the elevator stops, let the people on it get off at their floor or whatever, and then you go on. Otherwise, yeah, they rush in, and then you have to try and wiggle around them.
Yeah,
completely unnecessary.
It's like an unwritten rule.
It's like every time, like, so say I'm the opposite person. I'm waiting for the elevator, right? Elevator door opens, kind of poke my head in. Oh, okay, cool. No one's in there. I can get on, clear to enter. But like when people just like bum rush you and you're like, sorry, fucking move.
I will walk out and I will be rude because like
dude,
you're rude by being inconsiderate. Like if I'm waiting, I'm like 5-6 feet back. So there's plenty of room for people to get out, you know, especially if they have any kind of luggage or something. Like it's just common courtesy and common sense.
Dude, that one drives me insane. And I was just thinking about it the other day because it has yet to happen to me in my new building. But like at my old building, it was an everyday occurrence. And I was just like, am I the asshole because I think this way? Or are you the asshole because you don't realize like you should be letting the person off the elevator first? But they were talking about pet peeves the other day. And it made me think that's like one of my biggest ones.
No, that's very valid.
Chris or Justin, what's your biggest pet peeve outside of bodybuilding?
I want to hear Justin's first.
I know Justin's got a couple.
You know he's got some.
Just a couple.
I would say
the whole fucking list down.
Yeah, I was gonna say it. There's more than one, but the first one that came to mind is at the airport when you're going to the baggage claim and everyone stands directly up against the baggage claim and you can't see or grab your bag.
Hate that shit.
Badass in the fucking way. It's like it's the same thing as the elevator, kind of. Step back, do the COVID rule. Step back 8 feet or 6 feet so everyone can see the conveyor belt. And then when your bag goes on the line, you can reach up, grab it.
Up, yeah.
No, people will line up with their fucking shins against the thing and just get in the way. And it's like, I can't see if my bag's coming. And if it is, I can't get it because people are in the way. And like, I've got to the point where I do get rude and I say something because it's just common courtesy, common sense. Like if everyone is just 6 feet back, you can see when your bag comes, you grab it, and then you walk out, and no one's like, you don't have to squeeze in between people or try to not hit people with your big suitcase or something.
Like pick it up, hit someone in the face.
Yeah, like at this point, I might hit someone. Like I've become less and less patient and tolerant of people's because like little things like that. It's the irony is that they are kind of little, but it's just one of those things. Like it's so easy to not be an idiot.
Yeah.
So it probably bothers me more than it should, but it's because it's such a simple thing. It's like, dude, just everyone backs up and it works very well.
Dude, that's a good one. And when you said that, it reminded me of like the same thing. Like the people who automatically, when the plane lands, like jump up out of their seat.
Yes.
Dude, oh my God. I saw this video recently that went viral of like some Karen freaking out, and everyone around her is like checking her, like, dude, just relax.
She's a lawyer or whatever.
Yeah. I'm a lawyer.
Yeah, it's like you're still a
like,
dumb bitch.
they're like, then you should know better. Like,
Yeah, like
um,
you're not unintelligent apparently.
but like, dude, it's the same thing where like no one's going anywhere. The fucking door has not opened yet. Like, just relax. We're all gonna file out single file line because that's what the aisle can fit. Like, relax.
Then it's fucking weird.
Like, wow, the first aisle, get your stuff, go. Then second, and it's just one after another.
Yeah. It's
There's
always
a flow
everyone
to
from
it.
the back of the fucking plane, because then you're in your like middle seat or in the middle of the plane, and you're sitting there with like some bitch's ass or some dude's nuts in your face the whole time. You're like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Like,
The airport is like traveling in general is fucking annoying, especially like when, not to say like as a bodybuilder, it's more annoying, but like obviously like you're bigger, you're cramped in this little fucking tiny seat. But like, dude, yeah, the airport, Justin, that was a very valid one because I fucking hate that shit when you're trying to grab your bag. And I don't know if you guys are like me, but every time I'm waiting at the carousel, I have this weird anxiety that my bag somehow isn't gonna make it. And so there's nothing worse than when like the people are all like huddled around with their fucking ankles and shins like on the fucking conveyor belt, and literally you're just like, okay, you're trying to see where your bag is, and I'm kind of short, so I have no idea. But also, like in the back of my head, I'm like, they lost my bag. They for sure lost my bag.
Yeah, and it's so frustrating. Like my bag is like a very generic, like black, like
Same.
there's nothing super identified, like it doesn't stick out. It's just a black normal bag. You know, it's not bright or like, you know, anything crazy or doesn't have flowers or something definitive distinctive on it.
Yeah.
And so even and I don't like I travel, you know, a couple times a year maybe. So like I don't stare at my bag when I pack it. And usually it's open, so I'm just seeing the inside. So sometimes I'm like not even 100% sure what it looks like. So like in addition to like it being very like generic and not like distinctive, I also like sometimes forget exactly what it looks like. And then people are in the way and I'm like, that's dark. Is that one mine? No, I don't think so. Can't
Yeah,
see it.
that's
Fat ass is in the way. Like
so we got the elevator, we got the airport. All right, Chris, what's your biggest pet peeve in life?
mine was
dude,
the standing up thing.
Oh, standing up on the plane. Dude, I just feel like that one's so obnoxious. It's so obnoxious.
That's just because we've flown. I mean, we've traveled like 3 or 4 times in the last like month and a half, so that's been like
Yeah.
fresh on my brain. But I think I don't know. It's hard to pick one.
I think just another one in general is like I think the right term for it would be like spatial awareness. And so
Yeah,
like if you're at the grocery store, and again, maybe this is why I hate running errands, but like say you're at the grocery store and like you're looking at something on a shelf. Why are you all the way off to the right on the shelf, but your cart's in the fucking middle so no one can get by you? Like have some spatial awareness to recognize that like you're not the only person in this public setting, and like have some courtesy for the other people. I just think it's so rude. And I think not just with like grocery shopping, the airport, but just in general, people have like no spatial awareness anymore that like it's just like, dude, you're not the only human being occupying the space. Like fucking move.
same with
that
drivers.
yeah. What you just said, like people don't have spatial awareness or like
Crazy.
spatial awareness, because that's another thing I hate in grocery stores when people like or like if you're in an aisle and there's only you and someone else and you're looking at like they're looking at peanut butter and you need peanut butter and you like kind of stand behind them, give them some space, and they just stand there against the aisle so you can't grab what you're looking for. And it's
Oh my
like
God.
when I'm in an area, I pay attention to who's nearby for multiple
Yeah.
reasons. And if
Maybe
I
I'm not trying to get mugged, you know?
yeah, like that's part of it. Is I'm just aware of who's around me. But then if I see someone kind of standing next to me, I'm like, oh, like, am I in the way? Did you need something?
Pardon me. Sorry.
I have like common sense and I like understand that I'm not the only person there and someone else might need to get by or might be looking at something on the shelf next to me. So like I'm cognizant of who's around me and if they like need me to move or something. Whereas a lot of people, I think they think the world revolves around them or like, you
Yeah.
know, they don't pay attention to anyone around them or their surroundings. And so at the carousel or the lining up at the plane or at the grocery store, they don't move or like understand. And like those little things frustrate me because it's like, again, I just feel like it's such a just a common decency of being aware of others
Common
around.
sense.
Yeah. And
I think
apparently
mine
common.
with it's people not just riding your ass on the highway if you're already going fast, but just unnecessarily fast to begin with, especially like riding bikes and stuff. I go faster than everyone else on purpose, but it's always some like jank ass car doing all this crazy shit, riding your ass, whatever. And it's like at the end of the day, I've driven a lot in this country with work. So it's like I've gone 100 on the highway, I've gone 70. You maybe shave off 5 minutes on hours of traveling. You know what I mean? It's just like, dude, you're being so unnecessarily dangerous for what fucking reason? You know what
Well,
I mean?
I would imagine as someone who rides a motorcycle consistently, like you're ultimately more concerned about everyone else on the road than you are yourself because
Yeah,
you
you
already
gotta
know
be.
like it's going to be everyone else that causes the accident, not you. And
Yeah,
then like there will be times though where like I'll see people on motorcycles literally doing stupid ass shit. Or like the other day I was driving and there's literally like this little 15-year-old kid. So okay, I get it. You don't have your driver's license. This kid's on like a motor, like some type of motorbike. A bicycle you should not be riding on the
yeah.
road at all. And this kid literally has a GoPro strapped to his little fucking helmet, and he's literally popping a wheelie. Now, granted, I was stopped at the light going the other way, but I thought to myself, if I were going northbound in the direction he were headed, and I can't even go the speed limit because I got some little piece of shit on a motorbike that's 15 years old doing wheelies at 35 miles an hour for content, I'd be like, get the fuck off the road. You know what I mean? And like, but like, I'm not gonna run him off the road. But in my head, I'm thinking, I'm like, you piece of shit. Like,
I
like
can't be
down
mad
the
because
main
I was
road.
that fucking kid. I had dirt bikes, but like I was always being like an asshole on a bike to begin with, especially like now I'm older, I have bigger bikes, whatever the case is. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, he's out here doing wheelies on the road, or he could be smoking crack. I'm gonna let
What
the
if he
kid
was
do
high on
wheelies.
crack while doing wheelies?
That's pretty fucking sick. Then you really can't be pissed.
I don't
Like
know. I just like to me,
it is annoying as shit,
I just think
definitely.
it's like reckless on his behalf because God forbid, like he falls off his bike. Now you're almost
Yeah,
depending on the vehicle behind you that shouldn't even have to be worried about you. God forbid running you over.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
It's definitely a two-way street there because like I'll do some dumb shit on my bike, or like even with St. Louis traffic, like we split a lot of lanes. Or like I'll split people on the shoulder going, probably way too fast, like 80 or 90, whatever. But then it's just like it's the little things that drive her. So like driving on the road with your phone here, or you're sitting in one lane going like 60, or like stuff like that. It's like maybe we just don't do this.
in
Then
in my
maybe we
opinion,
won't be
like
assholes as much.
the freeway, if it's 3 lanes, it's like the far right, you're going the speed limit or under. The middle, you're going like maybe 5 to 10 over, and the left, you're just going fast as fuck. Like that's
The
literally in
left is
my mind
for
how.
illegal shit only. Yes. Like
But I
we're
don't know.
doing bad shit in the left lane. Stay out of it. It's gonna be fine.
I'll give you one more spatial awareness thing that kills me, and it is now a gym related thing. So there's a seated shoulder press machine at the gym I train at, and it pretty much like lines right up to where like the turf starts. And it's crazy to me that almost without failure, someone will take a mat out to just like stretch or do abs or whatever right in front of where this machine is. So like if God forbid you want to use this machine, you're now like spread eagle, like sitting on this machine right in front of them, and they look at you like, how rude. I was stretching here. It's like, I'm not going to pick up this whole arsenal machine and move it somewhere else. Like take your mat, move it somewhere else. Like but like I'll be there, like say when I would be training people in person, I'd be like spotting them. So I'd help them kind of lift it up. And now like my ass is just right in their face. And like they kind of look at me like I'm rude, but I'm also like, this is a stationary machine. It does not move. Like your yoga mat, you could take wherever you want and put it wherever you want. Like have some awareness for read the room and like go stretch anywhere else.
Yeah.
That's another kind of boils down to like spatial awareness and like realizing there's other people around you and that it's not all about you. And that's another little pet peeve of mine. This is probably a little less common, but like I don't like when people get near me. Like if I don't know you,
In the
and
bubble, yeah.
yeah, if it's a public setting and I don't know you, don't fucking get close to me. Like I don't like when people are close to me, and I don't know if that's reasonable or if I'm just kind of a dick. But it's like people in the grocery store and there's plenty of room, and they walk by you to the point where like you almost brush shoulders. It's like, dude, the aisle's
Yeah.
8 feet wide. Don't why? There's no need to get that close to me. Now I'm starting to think like you're a threat and I'm gonna swing or something. Like
Okay.
That's how it was this weekend. We went out, and we don't go out ever. You know what I mean? And it's worse as a bigger person to begin with, as a when you go out in public. but we're at the like like ballpark. We're at like PBR.
Yeah.
Place is fucking packed of just dumbasses. Like whatever, everyone's having a good time, which is great. But like you kind of like we got to go out of our way. I kind of go sideways and just kind of like I don't want to, especially around women. Like I don't want to get close or accidentally brush anybody, whatever. And then some like 120-pound dude, I see him start staring at me, and I'm like, "Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it." And like he's just going, he puffs up, and I'm like, "Fuck, dude, like, do I swallow my pride? Do I like check this kid and accidentally hit another girl, or like, just like, man, read the fucking room. Like, I'm trying my hardest."
All right.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you guys one more pet peeve and then one funny story. And these are both at Costco. One was today and one was a few weeks ago. So the one today, I'm like in the line at the checkout, and I fucking hate when, like, I get it. Again, like, I don't think I'm big by any means, but maybe I'm larger than a normal human being. So like maybe sometimes people like look at you, but when someone's blatantly staring at you to the point where now like you're staring at them and all that's left to do is be like, "Hey, how you doing?" And they're like, hey, like they're so awkward because they got caught staring. But it's like, bro, like this old man was literally walking by me in the checkout, and I could see him from like 10 yards away just staring. So by the time he comes there, I'm like, "Hey, how are you?" And he just looks at me like, "Hey." I'm like, "Dude, you fucking weirdo. Like, what the hell?" But a funny one that happened to me at Costco a few weeks ago. I was walking out and I had like an AirPod in. This other guy, jacked out of his mind, looked like he was coming from the gym. He also had AirPods in, and him and I just look at each other, just the nod. That was it. Nothing was said at all, but it was just like the bro nod, like, "I see you, bro."
They
Like
get it.
it was actually mad funny because I was like, "All right, respect."
That happened in the Dominican when we were there. I got pretty heated about it, and I never really got pissed off vacation. But I was walking to get Katie and I some drinks, and there's this couple in the hot tub, wherever, like our age, like 24, 23 years old, whatever. And like you're saying, I'm not a big fucking guy. Like I'm like 220, 5'7". It's nothing crazy. And I definitely felt pretty damn good though. And anyways, I'm like walking towards this place, and I see her start looking at me, and I'm like, okay, it's whatever. You get stairs at the pool, it is what it is. And then it's just like you're still staring, and I still have to walk by you over and
Uncomfortable.
over. And then it's just like you're turning to your boyfriend now. You're looking at him staring, or you're whispering something. They both start staring at me. So then I
So
walk back to
weird.
Katie. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I sit there
Just let me
and they're
live.
still looking at me. And I'm like, fuck. So then we walk by again. I ask them, like, you want a fucking picture? Like, this is getting fucking weird.
Are you that Chris Kessel guy?
No, no, God, no. And it's just like, dude, like, I couldn't, and I told her, I was like, I couldn't imagine, like, I even said Justin just because we're just talking about Liz that same day as Liz is Chicago Pro. So, like, you were in conversation. I was like, I couldn't imagine how Justin is, or like, how any of these like very large fucking people, like Samson Dowda, walking through anywhere.
Yeah,
Like
just like the stairs.
I'm already as pissed as it is
More
as just like a
uncomfortable.
national classic guy, let alone fucking some like
Mr.
top
Olympia.
pro. Yeah, it's like fuck. It's gonna be a
So,
long fucking road, dude.
I was thinking the same thing before you said that. Like after Scott said it, I hate like it's hard to go somewhere and not have somebody stare. And it bothers me because I'm like, most of the time it's because I don't think of myself as like that big or that crazy. Or like if I'm wearing, especially if I'm in an oversized shirt, like I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm a normal human. And like it's like I don't know, I guess I'm like kind of humble. Like I don't think I'm that big. And so
We
then
didn't do this for
it
stairs
doesn't,
and shit.
yeah. And when they look, it doesn't register to me that they're staring because I'm muscular. Like I'm just like, why are you staring? Like what the fuck's
yeah,
wrong?
it's
Like,
just,
Yeah.
but I think at like it goes from like admiration to an uncomfortable and awkward like point very quickly, and then like you try to break the ice and be like, "Hey," and then they're just still awkwardly staring at you, and you're like, like you start staring back, you're like, "What?" Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
I walked by her, I called her a cunt.
there's a certain amount of time that's like it's no longer like now you're being rude, whether it was nice or not. Like you are just
Yeah.
staring at another stranger in public. And like usually when I notice it, I will stare back and I know my face doesn't look nice because
yeah,
I'm not happy when it happens. And then
Yeah.
like I do have to remember like I forget. And so like sometimes I'm like, I guess like statistically speaking, I'm not the average sized human.
right.
And so
Yeah.
I try to have to like I calm down. Like they're not trying to be a dick, but like I'm not an
Yeah.
average human.
When
But
Katie
still,
broke it down to me, she was like, "Look, you got to remember, like, we are very engulfed in this world, and we see other guys like us a lot. So, like, we start thinking that's the norm. You know what I mean? And so then she's like, look, when you go out in public or somewhere, you are gonna get some stares because like you're not in the normal setting. You know what I mean? Like it's not. They didn't expect someone to look like you at a fucking resort in Punta Cana just chilling drinking a banana mama. It's like that makes
Maybe it was
sense.
the banana mama.
Yeah,
Fuck, dude. Banana mama's fucking rip.
like I mean, what 60 or 70% of the US is overweight.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I be staring at fat people. I'll be honest.
like less than, I think there's a stat. It's like less than 5% of the world will ever have like visible abs. So
Yeah.
we're
Yeah, no, I think
already
that's
literally in the
accurate.
top 1% of the world, even though in our world we're surrounded by freaks. So we're like Samson's a freak and Derek and Nick are freaks. We're just little guys. In reality, we're still in the top like 1% or less of the world.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Hard to remember that because we view ourselves as not that crazy compared to the people we look up to or see competing. But
Yeah,
in
but
reality, to like average humans, we are kind of freaky in their eyes.
But I do think at a certain point, like the staring does get like awkward, uncomfortable, and rude, no matter what it's for. And maybe only one time that I can recall, like this was at a gym, but like this dude was awkwardly staring at me. And like, again, I had my headphones in. So like I'm basically like not even trying to pay attention or make eye contact, but it was like very obvious after a few minutes. And then finally he came over and he was like, hey, he's like, I recognize you. I was like, yeah, what's up, man? And like, I guess he had followed me on Instagram for however long, which I mean, that was actually like very flattering. And I was cool. Like, gave him my phone number, told me if you ever wanted to lift, hit me up. Like, I was cool about it once he was cool himself. But the initial, just like, bro, why are you staring? Like, was like so uncomfortable.
That's fair. I think some people might think that I'm staring at them because I get kind of schizophrenic when I train and I start just like staring off into nothing. I don't think about it, but I'll sit there and just kind of like,
Ever since we did the podcast with Bryce and he told me he like literally just puts his head down and doesn't even look at people. That's me in the gym.
does it,
I
dude?
finish my set and I'm just like this. Like
Yeah.
I
If you're
literally pay
around,
no attention to anybody. And I think it makes people think like I'm very unapproachable and an asshole. But also at the same time, like I don't want to say this. I was talking about this earlier today, and I don't know how much longer I'll be training at this gym, but I feel like the gym I'm at right now is just so content driven where like people don't go there to work out. They go there to like film clips and socialize. And me, I go there to genuinely train. So like if you want to think I'm an asshole because I'm there to use the equipment properly and just focus on lifting, that's fine. But at the same time, like I think I'm part of the 1% using the gym how it's meant to be used. I'm not going there for fucking yappy hour, you know?
dude, Bryce
Yeah.
is the coolest guy at the gym because I didn't notice until I was around him more and more often, but like we'll have days, well, I'll be in there and he's in there. We won't even like we'll kind of nod at each other and that's it. Or like we won't talk until maybe like we're on a treadmill together. But
Yeah.
he's very much like he'll be like, hey, what's up? And then like it's very much business, you know what I mean? And it's obviously it proves it. He's a pretty good athlete, but it's cool as shit. Once I saw that, I was like, damn, I'm fucking up. I'm talking way more than I thought I was in
No,
the
I
gym.
after we had the podcast with him, I was like, dude, I'm gonna start being like Bryce. I'm just literally head down, not even like I'm gonna do everything I can to avoid making eye contact with people. And it's not that I don't want to have conversations, but there's a time and place. Like if I'm sitting there in the lounge drinking my pre-workout, you got 30 minutes. You can come ask me anything you want. Talk to me about anything you want. How's your dog? How's your new apartment? How's the rock you got through your windshield? I don't care, whatever. But like when my headphones are in, don't disturb me.
Yeah,
Fuck
that's
off,
fair.
I'm training.
Literally.
All right. With that being said, I don't have anything else for today. You guys got anything else you wanna run through?
I'm good.
If
I think I got.
what's that?
I think I got to eat.
I was
I
gonna
do
say I'm about to
too.
go eat. If you guys were me, what would you have for a refeed tonight? Should I get the Cheesecake Factory?
I vote for the Cheesecake Factory.
I'm
Switch
getting
it up.
botched.
Get a burger and fries. It's going to be different, and that might be fun.
Wait, did you say hibachi?
Yeah. I'm
Dude.
not. When you guys talk about cheat meals, you guys are very methodical. Like
No,
fucking
I'm
Justin
not
knows me.
laughing
I
at
am
this.
not a methodical fucking bodybuilder. It's like,
What do I
I'm
want?
gonna
Well, I'm
get-
not
yeah.
laughing because you said hibachi. I'm laughing because literally there's a Benihana right there and Cheesecake Factory right there. So I'm like,
I
Dude,
mean,
I'll
hibachi's
have
not
the
bad
most
either.
random shit. Like I'll have pizza and a protein shake because I still get my protein. Like whatever. If it's like if it sounds good, just trust your gut with
all
it.
right, stay tuned to my Instagram. I'll post whatever I get in a few hours.
Just digestives.
All
Just
right, well,
do something different than your usual.
yeah,
Have fun.
I'll
Yeah.
switch it up. You guys talked me out of the burger and watch. I'll go to Cheesecake Factory, get a burger and fries from there, and then a piece of cheesecake.
There you go.
Eat the whole thing.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate it. We'll try. I know it's always a few weeks in between episodes, but I feel like that's almost good because if we did this shit every week, like we would literally have nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think it's been good lately.
Yeah.
but no, I appreciate you guys as always. I hope training goes well. I'll keep rooting for you guys at the Tampa Pro in a few weeks, and shit, maybe by the next time we're on here, I'll be a little bit bigger.
Cheesecake.
GH.
What's that?
The cheesecake will go to your chest.
No, I was talking about before I use the growth.
The 12. Dude, I'm telling you,
Yeah, the
kickstarted with
12.
12 IUs. For like
12
2
IUs
weeks.
a day. Run
Just for
it.
2 weeks. Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. All right. On that note, love you guys.
Yeah.
See you later. Peace.